Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to discuss conventions, some tips and tricks, some information I've picked up over the few that I've gone to. Let's hop right into it. I went PowerPoint style for this one. So, believe it or not, actually kind of felt like news to me, realizing it as I was planning for Orlando. Uh, this is going to be my first full convention, first full 2-day, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there the whole time with a full table. I've done a half table. I've just vended out of my backpack a little bit, putting a few slabs here and there in some friends' tables and cases. But yeah, Orlando is going to be my first one where I have a full table to myself inside the section that I booked, and I'm going to have just the entire 2-day event. Hopefully, I'll not oversleep at all. Hopefully, my alarms will go off and wake me, and I'll be there the full 2 days. So let's get right into it. First thing, kind of talking about the layout a little bit. You can see over on the right-hand side, I'm kind of covering up part of it where the loading dock is. Down at the bottom, you can see entrance. I think it's very key to just consider when you're booking the tables. And my first bullet point on the slide is prepare early. They sell out quick. I want to say it was December or January that Orlando sold out well over a month in advance. Not only that, Dallas went up shortly thereafter, and Dallas is in early May. So 3 or 4 months out, Dallas is fully sold out for vendor tables. You really need to plan out your year. Go to collecticonusa.com, whether you're going to Comic Cons or Collecticons, whatever they may be, the national. A lot of these things book really quickly. So you kind of need to plan your year out. When are graduation parties? When are weddings? When are birthday parties? Things that you need to make, obligations that you have. Select your schedule of what events you're going to go to, and then turn on notifications, follow them on socials, enable email notifications, marketing, all that stuff, and just be ready to go. You can see we booked early, Nick and I, Old School Pokemon. You can see the nice red X through section 70 because I am in section 71. We have a nice little friendly competition going on. Don't go to the red X when you find yourself in Orlando Collecticon. Come over to the circled section 71 to spend all your money first. But yeah, you can see kind of our thinking with this. The entrance, right when you walk in, we're going to be there. We're not front and center. I guess Golden probably pays a fair bit to show up on the map with their name, probably a key partner sponsor of the event. So you're not going to get that prime of real estate. But main things when I'm looking for a section to book, I don't want to be super close to the stage. I'll get to that more later. The concert's very loud when the concerts go on. At least they've been in the past. You don't want to get lost in the way back. One thing I worry about that I think is a genuine concern, people might run out of money by the time they get to the back. So fairly obvious. Honestly, between 70 and 71, I kind of feel like I like 71 a little bit better, having that one open side, a little bit more breathing room, not lost in the shuffle. When you're going as a buyer, if you want to go as a buyer to this convention, it's daunting. Look at there's 5 rows, some spaces there's 4 rows, but there are 10 tables per section. There's, 70 or 80 sections. There are several hundred individual tables. And how you go about going down the aisles, it's not like a store where you loop the aisles. There's aisles vertically and horizontally. So how you go about seeing everything, seeing every table, it actually is a task in itself. So I think kind of being on the end will work out well. We'll see how it goes. At the end of the day, I think, and again, I'll get into this further, pricing, what do you bring? How does it sell? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let me just get more into the nuts and bolts, the layout. I talked about booking early, table layout, just general information. I believe every Collecticon is this way, but go to the website to verify, at least for Orlando and Dallas. They are 6-foot by 30-inch tables. And the table, when I booked, it was a full section for $2,300. I believe there was a 2-table minimum at Orlando, something along the lines of about maybe $500 for 2 tables. So your price, if you're booking only 2 tables, is slightly higher. You get a better deal if you do a full section. If you can have someone in your friend group, like Nick and myself, kind of take the initiative to book an entire section and then sublet out the tables, that works out really well for multiple reasons. A little bit further on the just general layout information, you can see my picture here. This was my picture of, I don't believe this was I have my trophy there. You can see my trophy Pikachu in the middle. So that was definitely Charlotte. I brought my trophies down for the deal with Rusty. So if you count, I do have a little bit of overlap. I basically overlap my slabs so that I can fit more in there. You can see there's 10 across and about 6 down with overlap. So you can fit about 60 slabs per case if you are willing to overlap them more so, or if you have duplicates of some and you can stack the duplicates. 60 is kind of like a baseline. It would look and feel about where I'm at. You can see I've got my heavy packs in there. Just to get an idea, I only had a half table there. If you have a whole table, you can have 2 cases. The cases have been $40 per case. So table with cases, you're looking at in $300 range, $300+ range, just to get a table with 2 cases. And then there is the 2 table minimum at some of these conventions. So just a little bit of an idea of what you might be able to fit, what you might be able to bring if you're going for your first time. One thing I love about how Nick and I and all of us do this in kind of a group, a little bit of a buddy system going on. And there's so many benefits to that because it's a long convention. I think it runs from 8 a.m. is vendor setup. And I want to say VIP opens at 9, general opens at 10, and it goes till 5. So if you're there from 8 to 5, I mean, that's a 9-hour day, maybe a little bit longer even by the time you take the stuff down and head out. So 9-10 hour day, you're going to have to do bathroom breaks. You're going to have to get a little bit of stuff to eat, and having friends around who can just keep an eye on things while you're gone is amazing. Like if you go alone, I kind of feel for you. I guess you might need a spouse or a friend or somebody to come man the table while you're going to be gone, or even if you're working a deal. I mean, there's times where you're working a deal out of one case, somebody's coming trying to inquire about another case. They want the case opened up to see something. That's one thing I wanted to talk about too, the cases specifically. They do a lot as far as security goes, because if you get the more tables you have, I don't know how Nick does it, but sometimes he'll run 2, 3, 4 tables. The more tables you have, the more spread out things can get. The cases provide some amount of security because no one's going to be able to nonchalantly just pick up that whole case and walk off with inventory. If you lay these flat on the table, if you're trying to save the $40, save the $80 per table, not getting 2 cases, I would really worry for theft. Thankfully, everyone I've gone with, I've never really heard about anything like that, but it is a little bit of a concern. Having more buddies in your area, having more friends that you're booking the section with, I think that just like is another layer of protection that you have. You have more eyes on everything. You have a little bit more, everyone's looking out for each other and their things. So if you're getting tied up with something in a deal, just always keep an eye on everything. And I've never really heard of it as an issue. Collect-a-Con surely hires security and things like that that man some of the exits, but there have been, I guess I have heard, not from people that I know, but there have been times where people had slabs walked away with, packs walked away with, things like that. So always keep an eye on everything. Make sure you're paying attention. I think that covers everything I wanted to go over with the layout. Let's continue on to the next slide. Must-have items. I think these are applicable whether you're buying or selling. Obviously, it's a very different. The convention itself is just very different, whether you're a vendor or whether you're a buyer or whether you're kind of doing a little bit of both. But on both sides, I think cash is king and knowledge is power. That is my main point. Above all else, that is what matters most. If you're a seller, having a little bit of starter cash for making change, like that is something silly that I've forgotten about before. And again, thankfully, buddy system, having other people in my section, I've hit up other people like, hey, I got to break 100. Could I borrow a couple 20s? I'll pay you back when I sell a couple more slabs or whatever. But if you have that upfront starter capital, if you're going in potentially buying anything, have cash. Cash is ubiquitous. Everyone can. I'm not saying everyone will, but almost everyone will accept cash. Everyone can accept cash though. They may choose not to for whatever reason, but one thing I really wanted to stress is, and it's down here, one of the further points, plan for having no internet. You very well may have no internet. They do offer Wi-Fi. It's fairly expensive. Honestly, if you're vending the whole weekend, it's probably worth paying a couple $100 to have good Wi-Fi if the internet is complete trash, because you might not be able to make comps. You might not be able to open PayPal to send a payment or receive a payment. There's going to be no scenario in which you can't pull a $100 bill out of your wallet and hand it to the vendor or vice versa. So cash will always function. Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, crypto, credit card, all these things require an internet connection. And last year in Orlando specifically, very, very spotty at best. It was very, very hard. The knowledge side of it. one thing that kind of blows my mind is you go to some amount of tables and they don't have prices. They don't have prices on anything. They say, oh, let me look it up. Oh, let me wait till the owner comes back. He went to the bathroom. He went to take a call. He's working with another. Have everything priced. Price everything and know the comps. Know, say they go for 100 on eBay. Know that you're going to price it at 80 or 90, wherever you're going to be. Know what you'll take as well. Know what your wiggle room is. It kind of shocks me how some vendors go with so much inventory, not priced at all, and they just need to, like, on the spot, take extra time. A lot of people, and we'll get into this a little bit further, the art of negotiation, all that. A lot of people aren't really comfortable with negotiation, and they're not really comfortable with asking, like, hey, what does that go for? They might just move on. You might have told them a price that they would ultimately have paid, but they might not even take the step to ask you. Make sure you have clear pricing on everything. Like, that is such an easy hurdle to clear, I think, as a seller. And so many don't do it. It's a fairly common thing I've seen. So yeah, I think do the research up front. Plan for not having internet. Just have all your pricing clear and ready to go. Same thing on the buying side. If you're targeting XYZ, know what they go for, know what you're willing to pay. And if and when you see someone in the vicinity, shoot your shot, make your offer. Worst case they say is no, and move on. There's 700 tables there. There's 70 plus sections with 10 tables each. There's a lot of stuff out there. Branding, one thing, I guess this is strictly for the selling side, maybe for the buying side a little bit. If you're wearing a shirt with your branding on it, just so people notice you stick out more in a crowd. I'm 6'4". I stick out a decent bit in a crowd, but when I have the brand on too, it makes it that much more. But shout out to Green Shiz. I got this idea from the Green Shiz. He had a video where, I think it was Long Beach Collecticon last year. He had a table runner. Vistaprint is who I used. You can probably get them done at many, many different places. But I made this Catch 'em All Collectibles table runner. When you go into Collecticon, it's a 6 foot by 30-inch table, as I mentioned. They all have black tablecloths. So 700 tables with black tablecloths. You'll stand out if you have your brand, if you have your name presented in this way. A lot of people do it. It's not like you'll be the only one. I don't think Josh, that wasn't like a revolutionary. He was the only one in the convention center who had that done. But I don't know if he thought of it himself or if he got it from someone else. But anyways, he's the one who turned me towards it. And I do, after thinking about it, I've seen a lot of people with the same thing set up. So I went that route, $150. It makes my brand more visible. I'm going to lay out the business cards. I bring my mascots. I mentioned, if I go back, I got my little Charmander sitting there, my sitting cutie. I've got my Squirtle Squad Squirtle, things like that. If you watch my YouTube, if you know me, you know those things. If you've watched a lot of them, fun little things to draw people to your table. I think that's a big thing because there are a lot of tables. It's very hard to see. So you want to have eye-catching things. And some of that is just generic advertising. Some of that is also just framing your case. Look at how I have the Pikachu card in the middle. A lot of people didn't even end up knowing what that was. I had 100 people come to the table that day and only a few asked about it. A lot more people asked about the screen promos and things like that. But yeah, when you lay out your table, try to think about, like, I want something eye-catching so that if someone's walking down the middle of an aisle, maybe 5 or 10 feet away, maybe through looking through a few bodies, you want something that's going to catch their eye, that's going to bring them over, walk over, grab the business card, take a closer look at what you've got. And on that note, one thing that in hindsight, I'll have to see how the tablecloth goes, how the runner goes for this convention. Given that part of my brand, and I'll cover this in the next slide, is having heavy packs, I might put that right on my banner for a future one. I might just put, like, WotC heavy packs here. Come get them. Come rip them. Let's pull a Charizard. So yeah, that's a little bit about just like general branding, trying to stand out amongst the several hundred competitors you have there. And then just honorable mentions of things to bring. This is a big one for me. I don't know if anyone knows what this is, but it's just like a battery bank, a battery pack. I have a 3 or 4 year old cell phone that does not last a full day, especially with weak service and weak cell service. So I bring a battery bank so that I can have a fully charged phone all day, whether or not my Wi-Fi is going to work, whether or not I'll be able to comp anything. But it's great for run to the bathroom. Someone comes to your table and they're trying to buy out your table. Nick can call me, or someone can call me who's in my section, and like, hey Dan, get back here quick, someone's trying to buy XYZ, what's your lowest price on it, what will you do, they're offering. So just be ready, have your phone ready. And for me, that means like having additional battery packs, because you can get outlets dropped down to your section, but it costs a fair bit, and I don't think Nick or I have ever done it, or likely ever will. So another thing, kind of a silly thing, but I think it's very important if you're bringing kids, or if you're bringing someone with audio sensory issues with really, really loud noises. When the concerts go on, one of my least favorite parts about Collecticon, honestly, when the concert goes on, the bass is insane, or at least has been for Vanilla Ice. I don't know how it will be at Orlando with the new people, but if I had like kids, I would need to have earplugs for them. I would need to have like that noise canceling headphones for them, like you see some toddlers at sporting events. I don't even know if that would be sufficient. I wouldn't want a small child in the room at some of the concerts that I've been in. So that's just something kind of silly, kind of funny, but like actually important that you might want to have if you have anyone that would be affected by like very, very loud noises. Penny sleeves, card savers. If you're getting things signed, Sharpies. I talked about on the last slide, if you have like a buddy system going on, you can go, a lot of times they're selling food and drink like that, but you can also bring some in. Shout out to my wife. I got in trouble a little bit because she brought Voodoo Donuts in Denver, and everyone loved them. Like the section was saved, everyone was happy. It was like a nice pick-me-up late in the morning when she came in with the Voodoo Donuts, and I'm like, yeah, these aren't, I mean, I like donuts. They weren't anything special to me though. They weren't great, and I think I said something about the donuts being meh, and I got a lot of flack for that. I caught a lot of flack for that. So if you don't have someone that's going to be coming in with some food, Radar was going out to lunch one time because he wasn't vending, but he was hanging in our section, and he brought in some Chinese food for me, the real MVP that day. But yeah, you can bring snacks in your bags, granola bars, things like that, water bottles. Make sure you're ready to go for the long day. Just a couple ideas of what to bring, like non-buying, selling related, just quality of life type things for while you're there. There's probably more that I'm missing. Feel free to leave your ideas in the comments below. Let's go on to the next slide. Have a strategy. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whatever you're doing, just have a strategy. Some of this goes into the last slide, like the planning portion of it. Price everything. I put everything in big capital letters because I price to sell, and I price everything. I'm not one of those vendors where you come to my table, you don't know what something costs. Big, clear pricing. I know Nick and a few other people bought like pricing guns on Amazon, and again, I got my chops busted a little bit. I use my Dymo printer. I go into my Dymo printer and I just write $50, $100. I print that out. I do it a lot bigger font so that you can see it from a distance. Actually, here at Charlotte, I hadn't yet done that. I did it with Sharpie in my own handwriting, which was a mistake because my handwriting's terrible and you couldn't really read it. But from a distance, further distance than you can with price stickers, I have big, just bold type printed labels that I put on every slab. Let me see if I actually have one here handy. I don't think I do. Oh yeah, I do. I have one right here. So right here you can see like a PSA 10 Scream Psyduck, $800. It's right there in the corner. It's in the corner where when I overlap the slabs a little bit, it won't be covered up. So from a distance, from a ways away, no one has to like ask, no one has to be nervous, no one has to, you just see that it costs $800. It's plain as day. It's easy to see, a lot bigger than the price guns that I've seen people use from Amazon. But a little bit about the strategy on how to price. This is a card that I sell for like $900 on eBay. My thoughts are 12% saving fees, not shipping it, no risk, cash deal, done and over with. I'm willing to take eBay price less fees because I'm saving the fees. Cash is king. Many benefits of cash that I won't fully get into all of them. But getting 800 cash in hand, I would rather do that than get 900 on eBay and have some small amount of risk. Authenticity guarantee alleviates a lot of that, but cash in hand is great. I'm flying 1,200 miles to go to Orlando. I don't want to bring stuff home. And then a little bit more about like what I bring and why I bring it. Heavy packs. I'm a gambler. I'm a gambler at heart in many ways, and I love ripping packs. A lot of people do. A lot of people go to events to rip packs, to make memories, to chase Charizard, to do things like that. And if you're going for that, come find me. I want that to be my brand. And I think it has been. Every event I've gone to, I've brought heavy packs. I've sold out nearly every time. And it's just been, it's been a little bit tough to see some people. Sorry, Rusty. Rusty pack battled his wife in Charlotte, and they pulled like a wheezing and a Here Comes Team Rocket or something, I forget, but pretty rough. But then I've also seen like the Green Shiz pull a Blastoise from a Japanese starter deck. I've seen some good pulls over the conventions too. So it's great to see someone get a big hit. Seen Vaporeons from Jungle. I've seen I haven't seen like a base Charizard yet, but hopefully that happens because I do have a base box for Orlando. So yeah, I'm always gonna have heavy packs, best prices around. I've never seen anyone beating my pricing. Mid-air slabs. I'm bringing like a lot of $50 to $1,000 slabs. I'm gonna bring a handful of $1,000 plus slabs, but not too many. I think things like that are just very hit or miss. Are you gonna find your buyer there? Couple specific things that I won't bring. I think generally, just like eBay, liquid slabs are going to be liquid. I have like PSA 10 Sword Shield 50s. The issue is those sell on auction for like 30 bucks. I can sell and buy it now with promoted listings for 50. So if I can sell something for 50% over market on eBay, why am I going to bring it to a convention? Maybe I could sell Sword Shield 50s for 50 at a convention, but I'm selling them quickly enough on eBay, and I just don't need help moving that inventory. Heavy packs are perfect because I would fear selling those on eBay. I would fear the risks. So if there's anything for any reason, higher price points where you're getting a bigger fee savings, whatever it may be, everyone's going to have their own strategy. I'm just one person with one set of opinions and thoughts on this. But yeah, for me, it's like mid-end slabs and heavy packs are my niche. That's where I go. Thoughts on negotiation. Knowing your pricing, and then up where I said I price everything to sell. I see some vendors, you can actively search on eBay, and sometimes the internet's bad, so to be fair, maybe you can't. But items that are $100 on eBay, they're pricing at $150. Items that are $500 on eBay, they're pricing at $700. I don't know what the theory is behind that. Maybe they actually sell some amount, so the theory is just like, I'm gonna move enough at these inflated prices that I'd rather sell 10% of my inventory 50% too high than sell 50% of my inventory at a price that's below market. Whatever it may be, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it. If buyers are going well educated on what they want and what they want to pay, you shouldn't be overpaying anyways as a buyer, because you should know what you want and what you're willing to pay. But some amount of people will want to win. So like when I price this at 800, that's priced pretty well. I know I can sell it for 900 on eBay. Every card is going to be case by case. Some cards, like if someone said 750, if it was Saturday morning, first day, I probably wouldn't sell it for 750. If it's Sunday afternoon, and this is a good bit for buyers and sellers, I think. I'm more likely to give you a better deal later second day. So if you're a buyer, if you see something priced so well, you should probably just snatch it Saturday morning, because if you don't, someone else will. But if you see something that's like borderline, I could take it or leave it, maybe check in with them the next day. Maybe check it in with them Sunday afternoon, and you'll get a better deal because they don't want to take it home. That's where I am at in my head on it. You definitely don't want, I mean, I guess on that note, like if you were looking for killer deals only, and you could only go for one day, I would probably, if I could only go for one day as a buyer, say I'm local to Orlando and I could only go for one day, I would probably go Sunday afternoon, cash in hand, ready to make offers on people's tables, ready to just like, hey, I'll buy 50 slabs, I'll buy the rest of your table. What can we do? And then I personally do graded cards and I do packs. I contemplated doing raw. I contemplated bringing a binder, whether you put raw cards in a binder, whether you put them in card savers, however you do it. I would lean away from putting like damaged cards in card savers. Some people say like put cards in card savers because they look like they're PSA ready. They look like they're probably high grade, whatever it may be. I don't like any of that used car salesman type stuff. I've got what I've got. Take a look at it. That's why I just like selling graded cards so much more than anything. That's me personally. That's why I do it. If you have cards though, I would just suggest same thing. If they're in binders, if they're in card savers, wherever they are, however they are, put a price on them. You will sell more things with a price on them. I'm quite confident in that. And plushies, posters, like people bring all different kinds of things. I don't really do any of that. I've had so many people reach out and ask, what sells? What should I bring? anything can and will sell. A lot of it comes down to your pricing. If you're pricing at 50% over eBay, you're way less likely to sell. If you're bringing super oddball niche things that no one knows about, if they have to be explained, if you have to explain this unlimited whatever, your average person might not know about it. But if you've got a Charizard that's in 9 or 10, if you've got a Scream promo, oh cool, they've never seen this Scream promo before, tell them a little bit about the release, be knowledgeable on what you're selling in case people do inquire. That was one of my most common questions I got, is like, oh, I've never seen that. Where did it come from? What's the deal with it? I talk about the exhibit they did in Japan, this, that. And a lot of those people ended up buying. But yeah, I think as with anything else, I always say this. If you want a general rule, like bring XYZ, price it this way, book section number this, and you'll sell everything guaranteed. It doesn't work like that. Like, I've talked about this before on a couple of the recent live streams over the past couple of weeks. I might have Evolving Skies packs for 8, and I might not sell out. There could be someone across the way, across the convention center, that has $10 Evolving Skies packs that sells out because the right buyers take the right route and they're broke by the time they get to me. I've seen it happen. Shout out Schultz and Dooley. I've been at conventions, Stein conventions, with Schultz and Dooley priced at $150 for the set, when one of my buddies across the way sold his set for $200. Same exact set. It'll drive you crazy if you think about it too much. I think, as with a lot of things, analysis paralysis can kind of set in. I know you want to go prepared. I even mentioned you need to go prepared. But at the end of the day, like, bring good product, priced well, and it's going to sell. It's more likely to sell than not. If your pricing's tough, I know some people go Saturday morning, they price really high. They almost do dynamic pricing throughout the weekend. As I mentioned, I'm more likely to come down further on Sunday, but I put good prices on Saturday morning, and I try to make everything move. And then again, I've never even been there 2 days, but being there 2 days, I will be hopefully, I mean, a problem I would love to have is like not having a full table for day 2. If I go and I'm trying to like spread my things out and not knowing how to fill my table day 2, that's a problem I want to have. That's just my strategy. Not everyone goes the same way, but I'm looking to bring a lot of good inventory and go home with a little bit of good inventory. So last point on this one, be buyout ready. I put whatnot there in parentheses. Shout out Cloud. Shout out Travis from Going Twice. Whatnot buyouts are a thing, especially Nick and I know those guys. They always come by our tables, our sections. Know what you have, know your numbers. 800 is my number here. But if somebody's coming with 5 figures, swooping in to buy out my table, buy everything at once, not everything, but buy a lot at once, know what your floor is, know what you'll go. Some people don't like to sell inventory in that manner. Some people don't want to sell everything for 80% all at once, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 plus. I like that a lot. And I always am kind of thinking, especially when I see them, when I see Travis 2 tables over making his way around, I start figuring where I'm going to be and what I'll take. So yeah, just be ready for that, because that's absolutely a thing. Probably more of a thing, again, savvy buyers coming through Sunday afternoon when people are packing up. Just be ready. Be ready if you want to be bought out. Know what number it's going to take to do it. Know which things you won't go down on. There's certain things. I'm gonna have a I've got it right here. I've got a CGC 8 base first Charizard for 10K. I would probably take 9K cash money. If someone's coming with a credit card, if someone's coming PayPal, it would be 10 flat. Pricing for me personally is firm if you're paying non-cash. If you're paying cash, it can likely come down a little bit, especially if you're bundling. So just know all these things ahead of time. This video is ending up way longer than I expected, as they always do. But I think that covers that slide. I've only got like 4 slides here, and we're going to go over half an hour. In closing, finally getting to the end, go with clear goals and a purpose. Planning, preparation, knowledge is power. Make sure you don't forget anything at home. Make sure everything's priced. Make sure you know what you want. It is a convention. It's make memories, have fun. I'm not just saying this because I'm going to be selling heavy packs, but definitely one thing I do personally, and I'll cover this here in the second bullet point. I love like making memories at these conventions. I want to bring home a memento from each. I want to have something memorable. Some of my mementos have been very expensive, and I'm aware of that. I am someone who's selling heavy packs. If you can't afford it, if it's too much money for you to lose, gamble, please do not buy heavy packs from me to make a memory and have that memory be you pulling a PSA 8, Venomoth from one of my jungle heavy packs, or you pulling a Hitmonchan from base set and having an $80 card from a $500 pack. Please don't do that. No, like if you're going to be buying a base pack from me, I'm going to tell you 95% chance you lose money. Know that stuff. Know what you're going to be splurging on, know what you're going to be spending on, and just be conscious of all that stuff. Whether you're selling, whether you're buying, if you're going to get signatures, I mentioned it in one of the earlier slides, have Sharpies ready. Whether they're going to have pens, if you have a dark card that you want signed in silver Sharpie, if you have a light one you want signed in black, if you want it signed in green, red, blue. Sometimes, I know at signing events, I'm not a big signature guy. They don't let you provide pens, but many times I think they do. So if you want, they have several people on the panel doing signatures. If you want something signed some certain way, feel free to bring your own marker and see if they'll use it. Everyone has different goals, so I can't make one 30-minute video and cover everything for everyone. It's just not a thing. I tried to cover primarily the buying and selling side, and hopefully just having a good time, going with a plan, going with a purpose, and then executing. My plan is to go have a good time, hopefully sell a decent amount of stuff. I'm not looking to make my memento anything really expensive. I have a little bit of an overview here from my last 4 events. 2021, I went to Vegas. Pokemon Saves the World box break. I bought in along with Nick, base, unlimited, shadowless, and first edition packs. I pulled a shadowless Charizard. That's my memento from there. When I see that, I think of Vegas in 21. Beta box break, and actually honorable mention, the MetaZoo box break as well. Gary pulled me a Kickstarter Bigfoot from MetaZoo, and Jason Page pulled me a Doppelganger from Beta. So those are my mementos from that event. Charlotte, I went down, I sold some trophies to Rusty, and part of the deal, I traded for the clock. You guys can't see it, but it's right here. It's right here on my wall. Look at it every day when I'm working. And then in Denver, shout out to Mason Cardinal Gaming. He had a great idea. He had an amazing idea. He brought one of his hot dog mats, $7 hot dog mats, and he had everyone sign it. He has a great memento. He's mentioned it's one of his favorite pieces that he owns, just in universally of everything he owns, because it brings him back to that event and the people and the good times he had. And in Denver, I opened some Rudy kits, and there's probably things that aren't coming to mind, but I haven't really like bought many things. I've just ripped a lot of packs at all these conventions, and I like providing that for people. Sometimes it is a big memory to remember how bad you got wrecked opening, like I said, a rough hollow from one of these packs. But hopefully someone pulls a Charizard. Hopefully I get to see someone pull a Blastoise. I mean, I've seen people pull a Vaporeon. That's their favorite one from Jungle. I've seen people pull a Dragonite. That's their favorite art in WotC. Things like that. I love that. But yeah, I think for Orlando, for me, I'm gonna bring one of my custom playmats I had made with my branding, and I'm just gonna copy Mason. Sorry, Mason. I'm just gonna copy you, and I'm gonna have everyone in the section sign it. Hopefully section 71 will take home the prize, most sales on Saturday, so I can maybe have the winning section sign one half and then the losing section sign the other, and just have the memories. I'll look at the playmat and it'll bring me right back. One last thing I wanted to mention, I do have an affiliate link and code for Graded Guard. I don't mention it as frequently as I probably should, but I do always have an affiliate link below for eBay. If you click that link and you buy something within 24 hours, I get a kickback from eBay. 1 or 2%, something like that, on anything you buy at no cost to you. I think affiliate links are great because you can support me, my channel, at no cost to you. With Graded Guard, it's even better because not only can you support me at no cost to you, if you're buying Graded Guards anyway, or if you're buying one of these like cases anyway, and if you click my link, you will actually get a percentage off your first order. And I wanted to show this case too, because I just bought this for the first time. It's a Zion case. If you follow the Graded Guard link in my description below, you can get one of these. It holds like 100 slabs. It was like a $130 case. It's fairly expensive, but it's perfectly sized for a carry-on or a personal item. not actually a carry-on. It's a personal item size. So I'm gonna bring this, and then I'm gonna pack all my luggage and my wife's luggage. We're gonna pack in a her personal item, and then also a carry-on. But cases like this are great for just transporting inventory. That's not one thing I really talked about. Staying in Orlando is great because the convention center's attached to the hotel. So I'll roll out of bed in the morning. I'll have most of my inventory in here. Each case, 2 tables can hold 60 cards. This holds like 120 cards itself, maybe slightly more if you don't have the graded cards on them. But that's 2 cases right there. I will have some excess. Hopefully I'll be selling things and then swapping things in once they sell. I will have my heavy packs. I will have probably like a case. I'll probably carry this and then just like a booster case of the several booster boxes I'll be bringing. But yeah, graded guard comes in so many great colors. Here are some of my, I just wanted to show off some of these PC cards I have. Some of my mascots that will be attending Orlando with me. Squirtle, he's going. Squirtle Squad. It's a Mint 9 mark in the color match blue case. You gotta love it. They're about $10 a piece. Using the discount code on your first order, they'll be $9 a piece. You've got the nice Gem Mint 10 Dan. I think I'll bring this one with me too. Space comes at a premium because I travel so light. I don't check any bags. I would be very fearful of checking bags. Another thing I do, I ship some stuff down. Shout out to you guys know who you are, who offered, who live local to the event, and I ship some stuff down, some packs, like cheaper stuff, more expensive stuff I want to have on me. There's the Bigfoot that Gary pulled for me in Orlando last year, and then I got my boy just Griddle Greaser Pete in a PSA 10. So yeah, if you want to, you don't have to. The graded guard link is there. You can save 10% only on your first order. It won't save you anything on future orders, I don't believe. And I think the affiliate link would still work if you're buying future. Or maybe the affiliate part is even only on your first order too. But yeah, the link's there if you want to go check out their website. I met Min last year at one of the events. The guy who owns Graded Guard runs it. Great guy, great product. Very easy for me to shout that out. Obviously the affiliate relationship, I'm getting some amount of a kickback, but I was recommending them and showing them off before I had an affiliate link. So because I really do enjoy the product. I wouldn't recommend a product that I don't personally use and enjoy. So that's everything I've got. Let me know. 38 minutes now. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, if you have any other input. If you're going to be in Orlando, let me know. I'm really looking forward to it. I absolutely can't wait. I'll be there all weekend. Both days. Come find me. Section 71. I'll have the table runner. I'll be wearing the shirt, the Catch 'em All collectible shirt. That's everything I've got. As always, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.